Masculine pose. See, as men, we gotta do better at becoming value chasers. We gotta become value chasers. You gotta chase value. Now you understand it as a man when if you're buying a jacket, a winter jacket. If you're about to buy a winter jacket, you're gonna make sure it's warm. You're chasing value. You want the cash value exchange for this item, for this unit. I'm gonna give you this much money. I want the value. You're chasing value. It's a simple concept. We understand it. If you were to look for a company to work for, you're gonna look about how much they pay, how the employees are treated. If you work for equipment, you want to look at the quality of the equipment. You're chasing value. People, when they're trying to go to university or college, what do? They look at the institution that they're about to attend. If you're about to do a trade, you look at the history of the people, job placement after, interning and things like that. Value chasing. But I think there's a brainwashing that took place about women and what to expect because most people just kind of did the whole thing marriage as far as men were deceived as to the characters of women because a lot of men did suffer at the hands of women. That's not a conversation we really have. To say a man suffered at the hands of a woman sounds like it doesn't happen. If you say it the other way around, or women are suffering at the hands of men, everybody's going to agree. But a lot of men have suffered psychologically because when a woman is in battle mode, she can bring anybody down. Kings were brought down. Samson was brought down. But these people, especially Samson as an example in the biblical sense, they did not chase the value. The manner and the character of the individual was foul. Delilah was foul. Ahab with Jezebel was foul. I bet you Jezebel was a baddie. When you chase value, you measure the character of the woman. And oftentimes you're going to find that you're not going to end up with something the finest thing. It's just what it is. But if the value is packaged in a body, in an individual that looks a little bit not like the street baddie, you're going to learn to love her. But oftentimes we're moved by our eyes. They lock in and we're gone. And oftentimes this lesson is learned by divorce or some breakup or a loss of assets and a loss of time. Because girls that are pretty oftentimes don't develop their personality or their character. They know how to be feminine temporarily to lure you in and then pounce on you because that just reverted back to their normative state of being. They can't be told no because they got conditioned to believe they can receive everything from this world without doing anything. But it's your job now to vet and chase value, become a value chaser. The same way if you're buying a vehicle or a used vehicle, you're gonna make sure that it was not in an accident. It didn't get flooded. It didn't get like chopped in half and rewelded back together. Chasing value, you understand that as a man. It's important. This is your life. Men die because of women. Just because you got a smile and a big booty and you're taking you're just gone. But if you start to implement the whole criteria of what am I chasing for, write the values down that you're chasing. If we're talking about vehicles, you say, okay, mileage, the kilometers need to be low, they can't be too high, the type of vehicle, is it prone to failures? What goes wrong with the women as well? Do it. When you write a value list expectation for a woman, you're gonna find that most of these baddies are disqualified off the jump. Now, of course, you don't need to be unrealistic, but for you trying to find somebody that's going to do life stuff with you, not partnership, wife material. When you chase that value, you're going to disqualify a lot of people. And some of your men have not even finding yourself a woman, but chase value. Because women oftentimes they stipulate what they want. He can't be broke. He must be this tall. They may not get what they want, but oftentimes they scrutinize men at a higher level than men do. Men they just put a little liquor in the system, and all of a sudden they're gone. Chase value, become a value chaser. It's a simple term. It's a simple approach, but it's a very powerful thing. Because if anybody don't meet that checklist of value, look at her, how she behaves when she's mad, how she talks to our exes, how she talks about her exes, her relationship with her children. She's got children. Her relationship with her parents. What she thinks about God. The roles between man and woman. Who is she there? Are you core leaders? Chase value. You're gonna have your own value system, but become a value chaser. That's your job. Failing to do that, that's all we all fail. We all have divorces, we all have long-term breakups because we got in a relationship with somebody that just looked good. And unfortunately, that's the trap. The better she looks, oftentimes the worse she is, unfortunately. They're gonna argue to death. No, I'm different. I'm not like that. Yeah. We have a history of beautiful women being nice to men. Oh, there's NBA players, they don't chase value. Even politicians, they get done wrong. Especially African politicians, they get caught with the check. He's just chasing the booty. I said enough. Peace, love, and blessings.